All right, happy Monday, y'all. It is the final Monday of the month, and I'm going to try something a little different tonight and have just a freaking candid conversation with you about what it takes to finish the month strong and beyond, right? Because it is Team Cup month, it is Team Challenge month. There are things that you are doing this month that might have been out of your comfort zone, things that you're doing this month that are cultivating consistency in your journey, in your business, and all the things, right? There's all kinds of community being formed, so you're able to collaborate with your teammates and just feel more linked and connected. Team Cup is an awesome month if you choose to let it be. It can also be a month that literally kills everything in its tracks if you also allow it to be. I've seen both happen with coaches. And so tonight is my kind of battle cry for you to finish the month strong, but how do you keep going? Even if, like, in your definition of what finishing strong means to you sitting here on a Monday, you don't do that, what do you do when next Monday, November 1st rolls around? Yeah, a week from today, it'll be November 1st. What do you do? Right? You back away, you get on the team training, what do you do, right? But before I get into this little candid conversation, these ladies have no clue I'm about to do this. Heck yeah, birthday month. These ladies have no clue I'm about to do this. So this weekend, we had our second retreat that was an earned retreat for really two criteria. Can you grow your team just by a little bit, not by a lot bit, a little bit? And can you hit Success Club 3 months in a row? And first off, I have to really give kudos to Kristen and Leia. Oh yeah, you should have known. Come on now. I really have to give mad props and kudos and all the virtual like cheers to Kristen and Leia, because I've given this challenge to our team 2 times in the last year and they've achieved it both times. So like virtual claps for them. That's incredible. That's pretty incredible. And then added to the mix, Amanda Stone got added to this mix, and so did Annie. And my heart is still so stinking full from this last Saturday. And if you followed along on stories, you might have gotten to see some sneak peeks of what went down. But truly, my battle cry when the day started was be here. Like, be with us. You don't have to go to your social media every 5 seconds and update what's going on, because it's here. Like, what's happening is here. And there's nothing like being in the retreat. There's nothing like being connected in it and earning your spot. So before I dive in, I would love for our gals, the 4 of you, they don't know this, by the way. I'd love if you could unmute. And I've got 2 kind of questions that I'd love you to answer. One is, tell us your best takeaway from Biz and Bubbly. What was your best takeaway? And then to pair with that, why should others make retreats like that their goal? So what was your biggest takeaway from the event, and why should others make events like that their goal?
I'll go. Picking one thing. Let me just start with that. How the beep do you do that? For 11 and a half hours, I was reminded that I belong, that I am a leader, especially on the days I don't see any of it. I was surrounded literally from coast to coast with so much love and support that you aren't watching the clock and realizing how long you've been together, except you know what time you started and you see what time you ended. Why should you be there? Why not? I'm just gonna, it's that simple. You learn so much that we can't like regurgitate it to you because we're gonna leave something out. Every second was magical. Every flippin' second was magical.
So I'll kind of piggyback off of
Leila. I think for me, this is true of Sorry. Did I freeze? You go ahead, Chris.
Okay. So Leah had said, why not me? And I think we kicked off the day with, I love Julie Voris. I don't know if you guys have heard, like, when I like got fired up for Diamond, but she fired us up Saturday morning to start with. Brittany had shared something that she talked about at leadership. And the thing that she said they wanted her to talk on was, how do you stay motivated? And her response was, how do you not? And that was really thought provoking, because how do we not, when we have like this amazing gift that has done so much in our life, to give to others? And so that was like really powerful for all of us, I think. And when we talk about, you know, like Leah, you said like showing up, and like we have a place where even on the days that we don't feel like we're doing all the things or whatever, like we belong in this community. And even on the days that we might not feel like that, there is a place for you. And one of the things that I really took away from, we had Josh Coates' little training. And if you guys know Josh Coates, he's big in the Beachbody world. But something that he said, because I was struggling with this a lot last week, he said, when did you get so spoiled that you needed somebody else to show up so that you would get excited about your business? Gut check. We don't need anybody else to show up that we should be excited about this business, right? Like, we have that fire. We know what it did for ourselves, and that alone should be the fire we need to show up every day, even if it's just for ourselves. And that really reminded me to just show up for me every day. And like I would if it was only me, trying to keep on recruiting and building this team and do what I know that God has put on my heart to do, to help other people.
Okay, I'll try and go now. Sorry, my computer is losing its mind today. Can you hear me? Oh no, now you guys are frozen. Okay. Whew. Okay. I think for me, hi Colton. Thank you for the kisses. I think for me, it's the same for every retreat. Is vision casting is like always the thing that like stays with me the most. And I think that's because of everything we learn throughout the retreat, because every single time that I like cast vision and like respond to questions of like, where do you want to be at this point? Or what do you see yourself, like what is success going to look like for you, or whatever it may be. Every retreat, it's different, no matter how far apart those retreats are, because so much has been poured into me before doing it again. So like my vision when we casted vision at the end of the night was different because of what I learned throughout the day than it would have been if I did it that morning. So I think that's being able to take all the different nuggets from all the different speakers and putting it into my new vision is always the most powerful to me. And I think that's a good enough reason to give you a why you should be there, because if you're not constantly casting vision and constantly like updating where you want to be as you grow and you change, then you're not going to continue to grow and change, because you might have cast vision at the beginning of the year and you're already there. And if you haven't like recast a vision for moving forward, then you're complacent and you're stuck and you're not going to grow further. So that's me.
All right. Sorry if my voice is a little bit off. I've actually been sick for the past 2 days. We had so much fun on Saturday that I was just out for the count on Sunday and today. But yeah, this was my first retreat and I learned so much. It was so amazing. I think two things that really did stick with me were the two that Kristen brought up. But another thing is something that we even just talked about in like our last 20 minutes together was, you know, a lot of times we're like looking to Brittany to like light the fire in us, but we need to light the fire in each other. So, you know, anytime that you hear a podcast or, you know, you're just motivated for the day, you need to hop on the page, hop on the group chats and everything and light the fire in everyone else. Cause this business is fueled by inspiration and, you know, the fire from everyone around us. So that really stuck with me. And that's definitely going to be, you know, part of my goal, because even when you're on fire one day, lighting the fire for other people will help you grow your business even more. So I think that was really powerful, but it was such an amazing day and all of you should go for these retreats all the time because it was amazing. And I will always try my hardest to get everyone. So.
Just in the nick of time, Amanda. You made it. I love the idea. I love everything you guys said. And I love, they didn't know I was asking this question. And I didn't know their answers either. So that was refreshing for me to get to hear. Guys, there's two ways that you could have looked at Saturday. You could have looked at it, and we even talked about this. I talked about this with them on Saturday. You can look at something as inspiration. There's a very fine line before it becomes comparison in an unhealthy way, right? And so sometimes we compare ourselves and say, oh, man, I wish that was me, or I wish that would have happened, or and it can turn into that'll never be me, or why not me? And the defeating comparison, right? Or you could witness it and look at it as inspiration of what's possible, right? Yes, absolutely, Annie. So tonight, I'm going to do something that I did with these girls. I shocked the freaking junk out of them on Saturday. And I said, guys, I don't have a slideshow for you. Who here is like, what? You don't have slides for us tonight, Britt? Y'all know I love a good slideshow. Come on now. It keeps me on track. It really does. But I'm trying something new where I have a little more of a candid conversation. Now, of course, I brain dumped what I'm going to talk about, and I hope I stay on track with it. But really, I know, Beth, seriously, crazy. People can change. I'm living proof. No, I'll probably be back to my slides ASAP because this is so uncomfortable for me. But I want to see your faces tonight. And I told the leaders the same thing. I didn't know what I was going to talk to them about on Saturday until like literally that morning. I got up extra early before finishing 6:45 with all the girls who finished it. So proud of everyone who's been completing that program. Don't forget, shameless plug, to submit your results to beachbodychallenge.com, get your swag, get your $45 if that pertains to you, all the things. And if you haven't finished it yet, we can't wait to cheer you on as you do complete it. But I got up extra early before completing 6:45 and finished out my thoughts, right? And on Friday, the same thing. On Friday is usually when I set our events for the week, and I have the title of our Monday night Zoom prepped. I didn't post the event on Friday because I didn't know what I wanted to say to you, because it's the last Monday of the month and I don't really have much more for you. I taught you how to invite, right? We've talked about a lot of things this month. You have a system from Kristen about getting people started right. We've done a lot of mindset growth and talked about, what's getting in our way. And we've talked about the things. So tonight, I don't want to waste your time with like more stuff. You don't need more stuff. You don't need more systems. If the thing I've given you already, the invite process, if you haven't hit Success Club, you're not doing it enough. That's it. That's all it is. Like, you need to go back. If you're like, well, how do I go back to the invite process? Well, how do I go back to that? Well, how do I get on an action hour? Right? Like the tools and the things to do the dang thing, they're out there. You've already been given them. Now we put it into practice. And now I give you a loving little nudge to help you finish the month strong. Deal? Cool. One of my fortes back in the day when I was coaching, not Beachbody, but when I was coaching color guard and dance and things like that, my forte was I was a very like motivated, very inspiring person, happy, excited. I love to joke around at rehearsal, but when it was time to freaking figure out our show and like nail it and get perfect, I came out to play, y'all. Okay. There's a very different Brittany. And so it's because I love you. It's because I see potential in you. I see the best in you. And I don't want fear to stop you. I don't want you to stop you. Right. Because there's so much more greatness in each of us than sometimes we see on a day-to-day basis or tell ourselves. So funny enough, on Saturday, I gave them 8 things for 8 years. And I guess I'm just stuck on the 8 things because I actually have 8 bullet points in no particular order, really, kind of in an order. But they're just 8 things that have been laid on my heart recently that I think are going to help you find some fire in this last week. So number 1, who has struggled this month in October? Anybody have a struggle, whether it's personal, business, health journey? I'm pretty much seeing everyone's hand go up. For real. And Olivia's giving us a virtual hand. Yeah. Here's the thing. Expect struggle. You're doing it right. Who here has been in track and field? Anyone run track and field? Chelsea, Andrea, these are our crazy people. I never did it, you guys. I did cross country because I'm not crazy like you. I have short legs. I can't, you guys, I had to tell Charlie that when I was walking with Kristen, when I went to go hang with her the other week, she watched, and I didn't tell her this, she doesn't know this. She walks so fast. My little legs, like, I was like Frankie, like, I felt like Frankie. My little legs going like, oh my God, her and Steele, like they go, okay? I had to keep up with them. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's why I have to have a little dog, not a big dog. He would have dragged me yeah. So anyway, that's why I ran cross country, because I got little legs, y'all. I couldn't do the sprinting stuff, but Chelsea, Andrea, they know what I'm talking about. And I'm sure who here has seen track and field events? I'm sure all of us, right? You know, when there's those hurdles, they got to do like the hurdle stuff and they're on the track and they run and then they have to hurdle and then they run and they have to hurdle. Could you imagine for a second that if you were in that event and your coach was like, okay, it's your time, here you go. And the gun goes off and you start running and you get to the first hurdle and you're like, whew, an obstacle, struggle, tension, uncomfortable. I must be going the wrong way. And you turned around and you went back to the starting line. Your coach would be like, what the freak are you doing? Right? Like, what are you doing? You have to go through the obstacle. Like the hurdle is the way. You go through it, you go over it. I don't care what you do. You probably get disqualified if you go under it, but you go through the hurdle. And then you keep going and inevitably, thank you, Leah. Hello, there's even PD on this. Okay, shocking, right? Is anybody shocked that there's a book on it? I'm not. Then you get to the next one and there's another hurdle and you have to go through it and you have to keep going through the obstacles until you get to the finish line. This is life. Far too often, I see women get going on their journey, whether it's your fitness journey or your business journey. And the reason I freaking love Beachbody, if you've heard me for more than a day, I love it because they're parallel. Your business and how you show up to it is a direct reflection of how you show up to your fitness journey. They go hand in hand. So I could never sell lipstick or leggings because I just don't get it. There's no like parallel to me. But I love selling health and wellness because it parallels the business I do on a day-to-day basis. The most successful coaches, if you look around, are pretty freaking consistent on their journey. They go hand in hand. So imagine though, I see this all the time where we get to this first obstacle and we're like, it's rough. It's a struggle. I should turn around. I should avoid it at all costs. And then what we ultimately do is we turn around and we go back to where we freaking came from, which is not where we wanted to be when we were there. Right? And I heard Brendan Burchard say this recently, and I'm just going to quote it because he says it so brilliantly. He said, it's easier to avoid struggle, but avoidance is a great strategy for short-term comfort. And unfortunately, it's also a great strategy to guaranteeing long-term suffering. I'm going to say that again because it was so good when I heard it and so profound that I feel like you want to write it down. It's easier to avoid struggle, but avoidance is a great strategy for short-term comfort. Unfortunately, it's also a great strategy to guarantee long-term suffering. Whether that's in your fitness and you keep avoiding finishing a program, you keep avoiding getting on Win the Morning consistently, you keep avoiding that hard workout that you know you don't want to press play on. It could be your relationships. You keep avoiding that crucial conversation you need to have. And in the moment, it's okay. It's not so big. But over time, there's going to be some suffering from that avoidance. So you guys, you have to understand that struggle is the way. Expect the struggle, expect the obstacle, just like Leah held up that beautiful look. Hold it up again, girlfriend. I love that you have a book right in there. The obstacle is the way. If you feel like struggle stops you in your tracks, that might be a great read for you in November, right? Remember, personal development's got to be personal to your journey. So if bullet number 1 just hits you in the ever-loving gut, that's a good book for you. I heard this weekend something else that just like blew my mind. And it was that you aren't stuck where you started. Oh, wait, let me back up. Hold on. See, this is why I have to have slides, you guys, because then I'm like, my brain goes faster than what I have. So who here, so we know we've had people struggle in October. Who here currently feels stuck? It's okay. This is a safe space to be honest. And if you don't have to raise your hand. There's times in my business I have also felt stuck. And there's times where I haven't. I felt the momentum, the big mo. It feels good. Things are moving and shaking. And then there's other times where it's like, oh, it feels kind of stuck. But what I heard the other day that, like, no pun intended, absolutely intended, stuck with me is that you aren't stuck where you started. You're stuck where you stop. And think about that for a second. To be stuck, like if you're stuck in something, and we learned about this when we were talking about being in a rut, when we did that personal development together of I'm Winning the War on Your Mind, was that it? By Craig Rochelle. And he talked about being in these ruts, and that like ruts are like a muddy, murky place. And like you can even think about a rut or being stuck, and you can think about like mud and like how that feels like you're just stuck, right? If you're stuck, you're stopped. So where did you stop that's leaving you stuck? You know what I mean? Because then you can get out. If it's like, well, I started my journey, I was doing my workouts really well at the top of the month, you got it right here in front of you. You got your October team challenge tracker in front of you. Okay, I look at week 1, man, I crushed my daily workouts. I even took a couple body classes. I was on Win the Morning. Week 2, it was a little less. And last week it was non-existent. Okay, where did you stop? Go back to that. Pull your freaking boots out and keep on moving. You're only stuck where you choose to stop. And it's different for all of us. That's the beautiful part about this journey. Where I'm stuck currently is a different stopping point maybe than where you're stuck. And that's okay. It's personalized, but only you know what that is. And so you have to figure that out. You guys, this third one is like real fast and super simple, but people who are great, they take daily forward motion. So you can be that feeling of being stuck. You can still feel a little uncomfortable, like it's not moving fast enough. But I promise if you're taking daily forward action, things are going to change. What's stuck for you? Are you stuck on your health journey? Well, you have the answers. You have the tools, you have the community, you have the support, you have it all. It's just you figuring that out and saying, okay, enough, right? Are you stuck on people wanting to join you? Have you gotten on action hours every day? Are you actually doing the power hours? Because I promise you, when I joined as a coach, you guys, I didn't do power hours. I didn't invite anybody. I didn't connect with anybody. I didn't care about anybody. I just posted and ghosted and hoped somebody would join me. And no one's going to join you that way. They're just not. You have to get in the inbox. You have to cultivate relationships. You have to be the kind of person that someone will trust with their money. Right? In the beginning, I was so worried, like, oh my God, I don't want these people thinking I'm just taking their money. First of all, I'm not taking anyone's money, right? They're buying something and getting something, like not taking money. But once I realized the value that I gave to my sisterhood, that I gave to my team, I didn't apologize for how much it costs because I know my worth and then some, and I add tax to it, right? I know what I sit here and do every day, and it's worth it. It's worth more than that in my friendly opinion, right? But I know that. Do you know that for yourself? Are you taking the daily action forward where you know you're building trust with people and you're adding value to people, and that the thing that you're advertising, people need that in their life? We heard this weekend, Kristen kind of brought up this Julie Voris training, and here's the fun part. You guys can all see it on the Beachbody Champions page. It exists there. So if you just go in and type Julie Voris, here, I'll even make it so easy for you. Look at this. I'm going to hold your hand. Julie Voris leadership. You're going to type that in the search engine in Beachbody Champions, and you'll find it. It'll be the first thing that pops up. It's a 17-minute video, and it's probably the best 17 minutes of your day. And you should listen to it every day this week before you sit down in Power Hour if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling unenthusiastic, right? She gives this example of her husband is a football coach, and she talks about the things that take no talent. They call it TNT, take no talent. And here's the thing, we're always looking like, oh, if I only had the fancy thing like she does, or if I did this full time like Britt did. Do you know that it's actually more relatable to be you than it is to be me in this business? And do you know that when you have 24 hours in a day, you will take 24 hours to do the one thing, but when you only have 1 hour, you will do the same thing in 1 hour? Do you know that about people, right? Like if you were given 1 hour for a task, you'll do it. But when I'm given 24 hours for the task, I'll find everything to do for 23 hours, and then I'll only do the same task that you're doing for 1 hour, right? There's way more distractions for me being home sometimes than being in an actual workplace and then coming here and sitting down. So sometimes, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes I wish I was actually in your shoes, where I had a job and I got out of the house and then I was home and I was forced to sit down and get laser focused on my business. Because I can be in freaking la-la land here all day. Or even worse, I can spend 24 hours in this device getting sucked in a rabbit hole of comparison all by myself, right? You don't want that. You don't want that. So sometimes we think we need all these fancy things or all this time. But the thing is, there are a lot of things that take no talent. You want to know something that takes no talent, that separates leaders on this team from followers? Does everybody, I don't know if you on your screen can see it, but mine is open right here. And I wish I could like flip the screen and show you, but there's this thing on Zoom. It's a cool feature. It's right along the bottom. It looks like a little bubble and it's called chat. And when you click on that button, it opens this thing up and you can type with your fingers, not your thumbs, but your fingers. And you can get in the chat and you can have dialogue, chat, right? Chat, we can sound it out. And you can get in the chat and you can take no talent and be in this call, or you can sit back like this. It's another Monday. Okay. You can be involved. You know why Leia's going to hit Success Club this month? She's involved. Right? Tap it out, Haley. You get it, girl. You know what I'm saying? I can tell my friends who will hit Success Club this week and who will not, simply by your attitude and the things that take no talent. I can just tell. I can tell. What are things in the chat right now? Since we're on that topic, you've all opened it at this point because you're all like so humiliated. You're like, oh God, she's calling me out. Yeah, I am. How about that? In the chat, what's something that takes no talent in this business? Connecting takes no talent. You don't need a college degree to say, hey sis, I love your outfit today. Complimenting takes no talent. Being genuine takes no talent. Posting on your stories and showing your workout takes no talent. Haley, yes, girl, mindset changed. Love that, Haley. Look at that difference. Caring about people takes no talent. Doing your workout takes no talent. Reading personal development takes no talent unless you're dyslexic, which none of y'all have reported back to me that you are. And if you are, kudos to you because you're freaking crushing it. Responding to others' comments, drinking your shake, getting on Win the Morning, answering questions. Thank you. Yeah, that's also why we have Audible for my dyslexic friends. Listening and really listening, commenting on others in bod groups, even getting in your team cup threads, right? Takes no talent. These are things that TNT, they take no talent. And he talked about, he can tell the difference of a player that runs on the field versus the player that walks on the field, the type of performance they will have that night. He can tell a difference between a player that folds their uniform versus throws it in the locker. Those things take no talent, right? Yeah, takes no talent. I want that to like stick with you like freaking glue tonight. That so much of this, I could go down the list, workout, no talent. You can check that off. Taking a body class, no talent. Daily Shakeology, no talent. Win the morning, engage. Every single one of these freaking things takes no talent. All of these, I flipped the page. And the thing is, this third page is a result of what you're doing on these two. So if you haven't gotten the results on page 3 yet, are you showing up for page 1 and 2, doing the things that truly take no talent? She said, I've been in this business for 13 years and people want to know like how, and what's the secret and all that. And she's like, I'm not talented. I don't know all the things. But what I do is I do the things that take no talent and I do them consistently. And that's what I do too, my friends. I do all the things that take no talent and I do them consistently. Yeah, dynamite. I love it. Okay, that was number 4. I don't know if you're bulleting. You don't really have to be bulleting, but next. This has changed a lot for me, and I have to share a secret with you. I've been asking myself a question lately, especially when I don't feel motivated. Some of you have already heard this, I'm sure. But I've been asking myself, what would the best version of me do? You guys, and I mean this, I ask myself this like throughout the day. In fact, I should probably get a tattoo. It's like at this level. It's transformed so much for me. I don't want to be the kind of person that doesn't have joy. And truthfully, I get on these calls and I'm like fired up and this and that. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes the thing that's on Zoom and then I get off and I like actually am like real Brittany in my house with my husband and my dog. I'm not as like peppy and I'm not as like joyful and I'm not as like motivated, right? And that's okay. Because those two types of people exist within me and they also exist within you. There's, you know, the person that you once were and there's like the better version of you. And it's a constant tug of war between that self. It's like, who will win today? And I want that version, the better version of me to win. And so I've been asking myself in the moment when I don't feel like doing something, like I told you guys last week on team call, I think it was, you know, that in the morning, what would the best version of Brittany do? Well, she wouldn't get back in bed. She would get on in the morning and she'd get up and she'd do her morning routine. And then I do it. So I ask myself this question in the morning when I'm not feeling it, or not the morning, in the moment when I'm not feeling it. You know, I'm not feeling like sending invites, but what would the best version of you do? Okay, go do it. I really don't feel like connecting with people today. What would the best version of you go do? I don't really feel like getting on the call tonight. What would the best version of you do? And you go do it. And that's in the moment. But this is the other question I've been asking myself that's transformed things as well. And these are things I'm literally practicing in real time right now with you guys and like giving you my next bestseller before it's even out. I asked myself, what would make future me proud? But here's the thing. I'm not talking about 2 months from now, Brittany. I'm not talking about 2 years from now. I'm not talking about a 10-year plan. When I say what would make future me proud, what would make future me grateful, what would make future me streamlined or productive or more proficient at what she does, I'm talking about tomorrow me. I'm talking about tomorrow. So yesterday was Sunday. I woke up and I thought, what would make future me proud? And I wasn't even thinking about tomorrow. I was actually thinking about later on Sunday because Charlie was traveling all last week and he arrived home yesterday at about noon. And so I got up at 5:30 and I thought, what would make future today me proud? What would make noon me proud? And it was, if I get everything done before my husband gets home and get the chores done, the laundry done and everything, so we can just relax together. That would make noon Brittany proud. So I did it. But also I asked what would make future me, like Monday me proud? Setting out my workout clothes, getting a good night rest, making sure my water bottle was filled up and ready, setting a game plan in my planner, knowing what workout I'm going to press play on. You know what I'm saying? Future me, like tomorrow, like immediate. because that's what matters. It doesn't matter what you think you're going to do in 2 months. It's what you freaking do today and tomorrow. And then the next day, and it adds up. So stop thinking so far ahead, you guys. What is tomorrow you going to be proud of that you do tonight when you get off this call? What's tomorrow you going to be proud of and grateful for? Today me is so grateful because I'm always, I don't have time to cook a decent meal on a Monday because I want to pour into you guys and give you guys my best. But I still want to eat well. So on Sunday, what makes Monday me proud? I meal plan, I meal prep. And then on Monday, I'm like, God, I'm so grateful for Sunday Britt. She's amazing. And then I'm proud of past me. I also get proud of myself because I sit here at dinner on Monday, eating the food that I prepped the night before, thinking of how grateful I am for yesterday me. And then I have a little bit more love and compassion and grace for myself too. So those two things have been very profound lately, you guys. And I'm seeing you talking about Mel Robbins. I feel like I'm on her level with this, y'all. Don't even give her my idea for this book because this is my book, okay? I'm just joking. But seriously, what would the best version of me do in the moment? That's what you ask when you lose that steam, you lose the momentum, you're too tired, the kids are whatever, all the things. And every day ask what would make future me proud, and not like in the far distant, like tomorrow, like 10 hours from now. Okay. Perspective, real quick. Success Club. How many people have you helped this month so far? Everybody in the chat, how many people? Are you at 2? Are you at 4? Are you at 6? Have you helped 1, 2, 3, 0, 10? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? It's 3 people. Let's put this in perspective. I'm sure that you could think of more than 3 people, moms, that you're gonna like team up and do trunk or treat or trick or treating with this weekend. I'm sure you could think of 3 other moms that are gonna be there. It's 3 people, you guys. I'm sure you can think of 3 people that will be at the Thanksgiving dinner table with you. It's 3 people. When you go to make Christmas cards this season, or Hanukkah, or whatever you celebrate, equal opportunity here. Whatever you celebrate for the holidays and gift giving, are you going to buy more than 3 gifts or send more than 3 cards? When you open up your phone, do you have more than 3 contacts in that you could text message with? Did you go to high school with more than 3 people? Did you go to college with more than 3 people? You guys, it's 3 people. And yeah, Leia, like, why stop there? But why, like, but my biggest fear is that we never even get 1. And this is my question for you. This is the perspective. This is the gut check. Do you even like Beachbody? Let that sink in. Do you even like Beachbody? Because if you do, then why wouldn't you want to go reach out and talk to people and get more energy in your sisterhood and your groups? Has this done anything for you in your life? Just like Kristen said, how do you stay motivated? How do I not? How do I not stay motivated? How do I not invite people, right? We let fear drive the bus, and fear can be in the freaking car, but it can't take the wheel. You're letting fear of what other people think stop you. And I know that's what that is. It's fear of rejection. It's fear of judgment. It's fear, and it's ugly, and it's not becoming of you. And it's not what would the best version of you do. And it's not what would make future you proud, right? I know you like Beachbody, but you have to have like that perspective of like, oh shoot, I do like this. Let's make it fun. Go make it fun this week. Go see how many people you can link arms with. You guys, my journey transformed. I was the yo-yo dieter. I was the on again, off again. I was the treadmill because you ate too many calories last night kind of girl. Like, that was my journey. I abused myself with fitness for what I ate the night before. That's who I was before Beachbody. Beachbody freed me from that. And now I have a job to help other women do that for themselves, right? I can pay it forward. But here's the thing. I had to learn how to love my journey. And it was hard for me when no one was doing it side by side with me. But when I started bringing people into my boot camps, bringing people into my challenge groups, bringing people into the team, then all of a sudden I felt like, okay, I have a responsibility to show up now. And now there's a reason, you guys, there's a reason that I have the kind of team challenge points that I turn in every week. It's because I'd be so freaking embarrassed if I didn't, because I owe it to all y'all. Right? And that's what puts skin in the game, is bringing people in. So even if this month you were like, I joined Team Challenge, but I didn't really join it to hit Success Club. I just joined it to really, who here? Be honest. I joined Team Challenge because I really wanted to get consistent on my own journey. It's okay. Yeah. You know how you get really consistent on your journey? You become accountable for other people too. I'm not a mom yet, but I imagine if I was a mom, there'd be a deep sense of responsibility that I would be holding for how I show up on my journey, because I'd be teaching it to my children. And I kind of feel like a mama to you guys in that way. And so I hold a deep responsibility for how I show up on my journey. And I talked to the leaders about this weekend. It's not just how I show up to my fitness. I feel a deep responsibility of how I show up to my fitness and health, how I show up to my finances, how I show up to my marriage, how I show up to relationships, how I show up to my spirituality, how I show up to hobbies and fun, because of you guys. Because I don't want my example to ever be a poor one. I feel that. But it's only because I invited people and brought them in that I got this extra added accountability that I never would have had. And so if you're the person that's like, I just want to be consistent on my journey, you need to hit Success Club more than any of us. You do, because you need the accountability. Okay, I'm almost there. We're getting so close, you guys, to my chicken scratch. Oh man, I was getting my November group ready and this post came out. I got to take a swig of water. Hold on. I was prepping this post and it was kind of like the rubber meets the road moment for the holiday season, because I'm really excited to talk about like really that this is a 365 journey, you know? And so many people during the holidays are like, oh, I'll wait till New Year's. And you're like, okay, you're missing the point, right? Like you can totally work out on Thanksgiving. Like there's a lot of time, right? Like people say the holidays and they put the holidays as October 1st through like, we'll give it January 3rd. And that's like, I don't know, like 90, we'll just round to 90 days. They're basically saying the holidays are 93 days. Halloween Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. Okay, I'll put Christmas Eve. I'm not a Scrooge. I know some of y'all do white elephants. Okay. That's fine. I'll even give you New Year's Day. How about that? That's 6 days out of 90. So when people are like, the holidays, I'm like, you realize you have 84 like other days to do something. You could literally do 80-day obsession during the holidays, right? Like, come on. Yeah, take a whole week to celebrate my birthday. See, the holidays, Leah. There you go. We'll call it 13. You still have, I can't do that much math right now, but let's call it 77 days. You still have 77 days. Are you freaking kidding me? People just make up excuses. So anyway, I was prepping this post in the sisterhood and I got to thinking about this idea, because what's my superpower? Lately, my superpower has been mindfulness. And I think during the holidays, that's my superpower. That's why I stay on track. That's why I don't wait for the new year. That's what's happened over all these years. When I can think about it, I think, you know what I've learned? I've learned mindfulness. And when I mean mindfulness, I mean like I reflect. I ask myself, is this worth it? Or is this worth it? And sometimes the pumpkin pecan pie is worth it. And sometimes it's not, right? But you have to ask yourself those questions. And I get very mindful of like, okay, I haven't worked out in a couple of days. I can feel that. I should probably move my body. Like I'm reflective, I'm mindful. And so I was thinking as I was typing this post for them, you have two choices. You know, and this was in relation to fitness, but it can be with your business too. Yeah, pumpkin pie, you got to do whipped cream though. Come on now. So good. In fitness, you know, it's like, well, I didn't do any of my workouts last week. Okay, then fix it. Well, I drank a lot of wine and not a lot of water. Fix it. Well, I didn't meal plan, and so I ended up eating out a lot this week. Fix it. Right? Like we are all grown freaking women. You have two choices. Fix it, or here's the other side of the spectrum. Man, I worked out every day this week and I felt so good. Duplicate it. Man, I meal prepped like a freaking boss. I went to the grocery store. I felt so amazing. I was in my kitchen doing like Brittany's Instagram story kind of things. Like I felt real good about my life. duplicate it. I drank so much water this week. I had to pee so much, but I'm so hydrated and I feel like my skin's glowing. Duplicate it, right? Like stop. We know what's right and we know what's wrong, and we can either fix it or we can duplicate it. Fix it if it's wrong, duplicate it if it's working. But here's the other thing. You actually do have a third choice. It's not as easy as two choices because we do have a third one. And this is where we get stuck, right? Is doing nothing. Knowing you have the problem and you do nothing. And that's also a choice, my friends. It's also a choice. So this week, ask yourself, like seriously, in the chat right now, tell us what needs fixing. What are you like, yep, that needs fixing. It can be fitness, it can be business, like anything that you know on this, and this that needs fixing. What is it? And I'm not saying it like Thanksgiving fixins, like the fixins, like fixings. Meal prep, reading schedule, more power hours, yam season, that needs fixing. No, mindset and up my nutrition game, sticking to dinners, my workout, fix it. Ladies, come on, fix it. And they were like, oh, it's not that easy. Yeah, that's the problem. It is that easy. It really is. It's that easy. You need to make your yam season. And I'm going to call Leah out right now. She knows. She came into our Team Cup thread, got her mixed bike, feeling all sassy with her new mixed bike in her house. And she's sitting here telling us, y'all, you know what? I think I'm not going to finish 6:45 because you know what? This mixed bike, it's like the Lord spoke to me and he said, Holy Spirit. And I was like, I went into a separate thread. If you're in our Team Cup thread, you don't even know this, but like freaking like white on rice, I went straight to one-on-one message. And I was like, as your coach, you are about to finish 6:45. Okay. You're going to stop stopping yourself from not finishing programs and you're going to freaking finish. Do you hear me? Like, because I freaking love her. And I know the confidence she is going to feel when she gets into peak week and she performs the heck out of it and she checks off day 90. Oh yeah, and I told her, don't you even know? Day 88, y'all, upper body, he's gonna take that shirt off. You wanna be there for it. You want to be there for it. You wanna be there for it because it gives you the freaking confidence, right? And I love Leah, and I pointed that out because y'all, we need people like that in our lives sometimes that challenge us and say, sis, because I know the difference. I know y'all. I know the coach that tells me, Brittany, I can't finish 6:45. And I know deep down you cannot, and it's better for you not to. I know the ones that are playing small sometimes too. Okay, last thing. I'm gonna make you get up. Go find a freaking sticky note. Go find a sticky note. Get out of here and find a sticky note. I need you to get a sticky note and a pen. Look at all those sticky notes stacked. I know, you could tell who the teachers are because they were like, and they're like apple shaped.
Apparently, I have two. I live with another teacher. We have no sticky notes in our house, so I don't know what's going on with us.
A notepad will suffice, y'all.
I got that.
Okay. Wow. Haley, come on now. I'm disappointed. All right. We got our sticky notes. Everybody hold it up, or notepad. Notepad works too. If you have a notepad, you better get some like tape out though after we're done. Okay. Promise. Okay, cool. So I already asked what was your team. I'm sorry. I already asked where you're at with Success Club. In the chat, what was your goal for Success Club points? 10, 10, 6, 6, 6, 10, 6. And if you didn't have a goal, you're about to set one. So just put it in the chat. How many people you want to help? And if your goal, like, here's where I'm going to stretch you because, and it's okay. This is why you get on here. And this is why I can be the bad guy. And you can be so mad at me when you get off of here, and you don't have to be mad at your upline coach, and you don't have to be mad at your team cup people. But like, why? Why would your goal be not to help a single person? Like, what's standing in the way of that? And you don't need to answer me in the chat, but I want you to like fully consider that. Why? You know, I believe underneath that is a fear. 100%. I believe underneath that is a fear. And I love the vulnerability and the sharing of that. Like, thank you so much. Dig into that, because I see the consistency you ladies have given this month, and I see you on your journey. And I know bits and pieces of your story. And I already can tell that there are people in your shoes that need this, you know? And to that, you know, Haley, I love that you're like, I got to take this in. I'm not comfortable with others. There's power sometimes in those dirt lister people that you're like, just come do this with me. Right. In the beginning of my journey, it was like, and when I say dirt lister, you guys, I mean somebody that would buy dirt from me if I was selling it on the side of the road, like my mom. I basically called my mom when I joined as a coach, and I was like, hey, mom, so here's a link I'm going to send you. You're going to buy this shake. It's cool. And just trust me. Right. My mom would buy dirt from me. She bought Shakeology from me. It's not dirt, not the same. But you know what I'm saying? Like, who are those people that are going to be in your corner? And here's the deal, you guys. My mom is still one of the most consistent voices in my sisterhood to this day. She posts, she connects and loves on other people. She's still an active coach on our team. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to, and I know her life has transformed from being a part of this. And I know the power that this sisterhood has, because I know the spiral my mom could easily go down if she wasn't like on a daily basis immersed in positivity. You know what I mean? She needs this. But I also need her, because I love that I can always count on my mom to be there. And you guys, before, you know, you're on the call tonight, I love seeing your faces, but before this used to happen, I used to get on calls and no one would get on. And I literally mean no one would get on. And sometimes though, every once in a while, my mom would get on. And so I'd practice my team training to my mom, to an audience of one. So who are those people in your life that you're just like, man, I need to practice. I'm not comfortable inviting. I'm not comfortable being consistent. I don't even know if I'm going to be a good coach, but can I just practice on you? Can I just practice my first bod group on you? Who are those people? Okay, we got our notepads. You told me what your team cup goal was. You told me where you're at. On this notepad, I want you to write down one thing that you'd like to achieve as a coach before this year is over. We have something like 60-ish, call it 65, just to be fun, 65-ish days left of the year. What in 65 days, which are going to fly by the way, would you like to achieve before it's over? I want you to write that down. Okay, drop it in the chat. What's the one thing you wrote down? I literally almost just stepped on my dog. Diamond, Andrea Diamond, 1-star Diamond, Annie. Oh God, these are rolling so fast. 2 new coaches or preferred customers, create a system and follow it to a T, finish a program. Chelsea, I'm going to nudge you even further. Which program are you going to finish before the year's over? Help one person. Bringing Eric's Business Center to Diamond, which would bring me to 1-star, finish 645, Amanda. Beth wants to have 3 preferred customers. Ashley, 1-star. Olivia, Emerald again, both November and December. So that's looking like for new teammates and definitely on Diamond Watch by the end of the year. I love that consistency and showing up for myself, even when it's hard to get out of bed. Build my second biz to Diamond for Kristen, get SC for the 6th month this year. She's going to lock in that cooler backpack. I freaking love it. Okay. I love it. And guys, these are all over the map and they are yours and they belong to you. And that's what, like, this is important. When you're reading that, that's not to say like, now here's the difference. You can read that and say, if you like read that and you read someone else who was in a similar zone as you in your business, in your fitness and all the things, right? You're in a similar place and you read it and you felt like maybe I didn't say a big enough goal. Let that nudge you to dream bigger. Push yourself. If what you wrote though is right in your wheelhouse, then this is sacred to you and you don't need to look at anybody else's left or right, right? We use each other as inspiration, not comparison, consistently working out and sharing it. Yes. These are all incredible because here's the thing, you guys, you don't get to dream about being 1 star. You don't get to write down dreams like that if you don't start with getting consistent in your morning routine or showing up and sharing your workout, right? Right? You have, it's a building block. It's a building block. And so I love that you are meeting yourself right where you are, right where you are. Here's the thing. On the other side of that goal, there's action. Yeah. So you have to look at what are the actions. And for a lot of you, if it was rank or helping people goals, like SC goals or rank goals, on the other side of that is helping people, which is what you need to go do this week. The whole point of this entire thing that I'm culminating is this goal that I wrote right here. I want to puke my freaking brains out, you guys. By the way, 5-star coach, I don't have, this is not possible right now. I want you to know that that's not possible. It's really far off. It's one of those where I'm like, I don't know how I do that. I don't need to know the answers. I just need to take the action forward to try to get there, right? So when you write these down, on the other side of that is action. And it's not action saved for November 1st. It's not action like, again, future me by the end of the year. That starts tomorrow. Tomorrow you wants to go emerald again. Tomorrow you wants to show up on your workout. Tomorrow you is pushing for 1 star. Tomorrow you is waking up to hit Success Club, right? On the other side of that is a choice that you're going to make tomorrow that's action driven. Capiche? Ladies, I want you to hold up all of your little things. They don't have to be like, you don't have to get, I want to see your face too, but hold up your notes because I want to get a boomerang of this because this is powerful. Actually, I'm not even doing a boomerang. I'm going to do a video. You guys, we're on team call right now. Look at these beautiful women. Look at my team. Gosh, I love them. And they just set goals for the next 2 months of what they want to achieve before this year's over. Ladies, shake those freaking goals. Look at this. Look how powerful this is, y'all. There's nothing like this. There's no community like this, which is why I'll go out there and I'll invite, because no one's doing this right now as a collective group of women. Who's doing it? They're not. And I want to cheer and champion all of you guys to achieve the things that you put right here. But this is what happens. This doesn't stay on a notepad and go back in my drawer. This gets taken out. I take a piece of tape. Yep, I was a teacher. I have it right here. Okay. I take the tape and I put it right here. It lives in my freaking face every day, right? You take that sticky note and you put it somewhere you're going to see it, on your bathroom mirror, on your, exactly, Annie, thank you. And if you didn't have sticky notes like Haley, God love her, you know, first year teacher, I don't know, amateur hour. But if you're like Haley and me, really, me too, then you're going to get a piece of tape. You're going to tape it somewhere. It's not going to live in the journal to die there. You understand? You deal? You with me? Cool. All right, ladies, I'm going to hit stop on the recording.